What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Giveaway Show. Man, it has been a wild week for sure. It is definitely one that is one for the books. But we're here. We're gonna do it's probably going to end up being a little bit shorter of a show. But yeah, just wanted to touch base with everybody. This broadcast tonight. We're going to be doing our post-show and just talking about some of the pickups, kind of the experience of the convention, going over a few things that we've learned along the way, and just reminiscing about it because it was a great convention this year. Stacked panel of guests, tons of people that had their different. All across fandom, lots of different people. Man, I'm dragging because today was the last day of classes for the year, and so, man, I'm exhausted. It's been a fantastic year, but it's been a really good year, and man, it was just kind of capped off perfectly. I'll say this, I generally don't talk, well, I mean, I'll give personal updates and stuff. I'm still touched. This was the coolest thing. So, I got to work with a great group of students this year, and one of them, I mean, I didn't even have words. He brought me this awesome looking wallet as a gift, and this is just the coolest thing ever. The fact that he brought this, and that this kind of sacrifice, man, it's awesome. So shout outs to any of these guys that they wanted to, the guys and girls, they wanted to know how they could keep up with me over the summer. I'll be back at the same school next year. I did get a job offer, an official job offer, and I did accept it this morning. And so it's not going to, there might be a couple tweaks to the channel, but most of you won't notice much. If anything, you'll probably notice a stronger presence from the channel. But yeah, so big shout out to Anil, Adrian, Oscar, Omar, Jimena, the two Camilas, Noah, Giovanni, Ophelia, just a ton of students that I had about 70 of them this semester, and there was a bunch of them. But special big shout out to Anil. We bonded. He gave me this really cool little thing. Look at this, Paul. Isn't that neat? He brought that, yeah. And he just said, hey, here. He said, I want you to have this, mister. And man, it was cool. So
bribing the teacher again, huh?
The what?
Bribing the teacher, huh?
Yeah, I think he just. I was just really, really surprised. He went and got this, and he said, he said, I want you to have this. I was like, wow. I was like, your grades already turned in, buddy. You already got an A.
I was like, all right, give it back to me.
Right. He's like, give it back to me. But yeah, so it's so good stuff all around. Good, and a great convention. Just a really great convention. It was not without its moments of stress, but we might touch on that too. But it was a really good convention. We had a lot of good stuff that happened. I have more content that'll be released here and on Instagram. I don't have a mashup. And I don't have like a mashup video to show tonight, but for those who, any cosplayers, anybody that we met, I've got cool clips that are going to be dropped probably on Instagram. I shot most of my stuff vertical this year, and so a lot of it will be released on Instagram and then possibly as a YouTube short as well, and TikTok as well. So let's do some shout out. Or let Paul say hey to everybody. And then we're gonna go through the chat, say hi to everybody in the chat. read out some chats, shout out our channel members, of course. Channel members, I think I got something for everybody that has a box from the convention. So, yeah. So there's some cool stuff that's going to be going into channel member boxes. Remember, you can subscribe to the channel for as low as $4.99 a month, and then all the way up to $19.99 for our Canadian brethren, who I think are still on postal strike. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah. So consider being a channel member. You can find the join button down below. You can find the link down below. It's just the link to this channel /join, and it'll take you to a page that'll lay out all the different options. But I hope you consider it, because remember, if we hit 25 channel members, we will no longer have commercials played during the giveaway show. You'll get to watch it as a completely commercial free. Well, not commercial free. I won't be the one doing the commercials. YouTube, I think, will still put the commercials in there, but at least it won't be me that's putting them in there for you. So yeah. So all right. So let me go and bring Paul out. Let me have Paul say hi to everybody. All right, Paul.
All right. Me and Billy are here, guys. Look at Billy, so happy. He's got his the Fan Expo badge. Anyway, thank you guys for showing up tonight. All I gotta say, guys, is don't ride with Carlos while he's navigating. We barely got here for the giveaway show. So I just want to say,
literally walked in.
We literally took a wrong turn, but me and my good buddy, we noticed that the magnifield, it was messed up, and we were just like, this is not right. We're not going the right way. And then finally we helped out the navigator, and we were back on the way to Fan Expo. So
your story happened. That's
okay. It was hard, having Jen driving and Carlos navigating, but we made it back. We're here at the giveaway show, and somebody asked for the $25 challenge. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. We did not end up doing a $25 challenge because Carlos ended up waiting in the Nathan Zerdy line for most of the convention.
Thank you guys for showing up tonight. And like I said, we met a bunch of people at Fan Expo. If y'all are coming on here, let us know in the message or in the chat. And yeah,
yeah.
You ready to
we met some really cool people, man. So shout out to Pocketful of Stones over on Instagram. Shout out to Star Wars Theory. Shout out to, of course, John Boy Myers.
And I just want to say, guys, that it's because of Professional Comics. We had the reservation. The line was like around the hotel, but we didn't have to stand in line because we had the reserved table.
That's right. I, was shocked when we walked into the owner's box at the restaurant connected to the hotel that's connected to the convention center. We walked in, there was a reserved table. Paul went in and said, we're here for, and they took us right to a reserved table and set us down at the front of the restaurant, the most prominent place. Comic Tom and Davis Ryder got seated.
They stopped over there.
I'm sorry, but somehow, Paul, we ended up seated at the front. Comic Tom was at the back of the restaurant. I don't know. Maybe.
Wolverado, I thought you were going to be there, Wolverado.
Yeah.
Carlos was crying on Saturday because you weren't there. Because Wolverado said he's going to go next year.
Yeah. Okay. Wolverado, you do need to come. Yeah, we need to do a convention meetup and have everybody meet up at the same convention. That was kind of fun. We did that at StrictlyCon like a couple of years ago, and it was kind of fun to see everybody. All right, so hey, we got some cool giveaways for you tonight. I'm not doing convention giveaways. I'm instead doing. I've got a lot of image firsts, so which I think these reprints are worth more than a little bit than $1, maybe.
You
I've got the Invincible one.
Hang out.
I've got the Stray Dogs one.
Ooh.
I've got the Spawn #1.
Wait a minute, you like that one?
The Ice Cream Man.
What?
And I've got The Walking Dead.
Ooh.
So it's a lot of Image First Fall. They're dollar reprints of big Image hits.
Dang.
And so we're giving this 5-pack away tonight, as well as for the second giveaway of the night, Grendel Behold the Devil, #1 of 8. We're going to give that away. This is courtesy of good buddy Dotson, and this is an A-OK from him. So we're going to put that there. And we'll do that. Yeah. And then the channel number upgrade giveaway, Sins of Sinister #1. Somehow this book continues to survive. It is a 1 in 50. So I'm shocked. Actually, I don't know who that signature is. It's not Mike McCone.
Like Mike McCone.
We met Mike McCone, and I would be bummed if I didn't take that and get it signed by him.
You didn't take
it
by him.
All right, let's do some shout outs. Emma Dudley says, hello, everyone. She's dropping in first. Thank you for viewing Emma Dudley at the Lake Jackson Lone Star Hero store. Brock's boys, Aaron and Jordan, good to see y'all as well. El Green Machine dropping in. Big shout out to Huey and Emma Dudley, channel members, as well as Wolverado, another one of our channel members. Glad that y'all are here. Paul must be still looking for a $25 challenge, but we did not do the $25 challenge. As soon as we hit the convention floor, the 4 amigos, we all went in separate directions. And we touched base during the weekend, but not much. I could never get the 4 of us together. So, it'll be something we work on for another convention coming up. We got some other conventions coming up. Amazing Spider Flint, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Shout out to Dagger Cards, another channel member. Thanks for being here, Dagger. El Green Machine says, you look tired. We can tell. All good. Be sure to hit that like button. Good to see you. Emma Dudley, thanks for doing that. Thank y'all. Congratulations. Thank you. What classes do I teach this past year? I taught photography and digital media with 7th graders, if you can believe it.
Did you teach them how to use the monorail?
It was a success in my book, and it was a success. Stress sounds like a Paul story.
Wolverado, man, you know what? Let him navigate for you, Wolverado. You'll never
come
on that.
I gotta say, I failed. I failed as a navigator. I did.
Yeah, you failed miserably.
We were like 30 or 40 minutes out of Houston, and we already had to double back and go 5 minutes back to wrong.
And guys, there was a big navigation map in front of him.
Oh, God. Here we go. All right. Best channel, subscribe on YouTube. There you go. What's up, Carlos and everyone else? Hope you had fun at the expo this past week. We did, buddy. It was good. It was good. VIP, nice. All right. Hopefully I'll get to go next year to finally meet you all in person. Had a family matter to on Saturday in Austin. Hey, family comes first. You'll never hear me say anything different. Paul put up that reserve sign up there, but he spelled it reservoir.
What? Collector, don't quit your day job, Collector.
Collector was with us, so he knows. Cover artist is Marco Cicchetto. Oh yes, Marco. He was not at Fan Expo Dallas. Joffrey Castro, good to see you, buddy. Hey, one big shout out that we need to make sure and do is our channel sponsor, Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. 3 convenient locations in the greater Houston area, but don't take my word for it. Check out the visuals. What's up, everybody? It's Carlos Collects Comics here, and I want to take a second to tell you about a sponsor of this video, Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. And if you're looking for your next favorite comic shop, this is the spot. Tons of back issues, all the key books you could be looking for, a friendly and helpful staff,
and 3 locations across the greater Houston area region: Lake Jackson, NASA, and Galveston. So make sure and check out Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys.
All right, so remember, 3 convenient locations. You can find the contact information in the video description below. You can also purchase from them at Comics on Demand. That's a Friday night show that we're currently doing. So make sure you tune in. It'll be this week. I'm not sure if it starts at either 6 or 7, but be on the lookout because I'll be posting the show. And yeah, it's you can get some really killer deals. A couple of deals that I recently myself picked up. Avengers Annual number 10, the really cool retro do not for sale or not to be sold stamp on it. Pick that up, and then also Omega Men number 3, the first appearance of Lobo. 2 books.
So that non-sale stamp, do you think it was like in the library before, or maybe?
I don't think it was in a library. I think it was like I think it was from like a comp. I think it was a comp copy sent from Marvel.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think. I don't know for sure. I haven't looked it up. Also found this recently, Detective Comics number 583 and about a 7.0. But that was good enough for my personal collection because I have never owned this in it. It's the first appearance of Scarface and Ventriloquist and iconic Mike Mignola cover art. That's the creator of Hellboy. Just FYI. So cool stuff to pick up. All right, so we're gonna jump into things. I'm gonna enter the first giveaway in the chat. Let's see. Okay. Hashtag image first for your chance to win. Did you find that at the convention?
No, I found it today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Paul, of course, was out on the hunt. I was dragging through the finish. But hey, I got one of the biggest compliments I've gotten all year. Another teacher at the school said, "Hey, you're still walking the same way you did on day 1." And I said, "Thank you." And
I know that's a lie.
She said, "That's a compliment." She said, "Because you're still got pep in your step, energy, good thing."
Well,
all right, so cool stuff, cool channel member pickups.
Image first.
Hashtag image first. I'm going to show off one of the books that I picked up. This is not a giveaway. This is going into a channel member box. So Nathan Zerdy was one of the talents that was there, and he had some really cool books for sale. So this is an exclusive variant from Unknown Comics for Storm number 2. This book is not a PC book. This is a channel member book, gotten specifically for a channel member who loves Storm. Check that out. Look at see. So the cool thing about Nathan Zerdy is every signature he customized it to go with the cover. So like he made it look like electricity coming out of the Storm thing. So this is going straight into a channel member box. Show that off. Let's see. There's so many. So many books. Some stuff. This was just another book. This was a channel member. I don't know. I don't think this is a channel member book. But this is Justice League Unlimited number 5. I'll show this. This is that Zatanna and Hawkgirl cover.
Oh yeah, it says Paul's Comics on the top. Yeah.
He did the Nathan Star Zerdy, in different colors. and then up here he put abracadabra spelled backwards because remember that's how Zatanna activates her powers. So I thought, it's cool that he did those little things like that. I was just real impressed with Zerdy. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I shared the G.I. Joe Transformers set that Jay Lee signed. That was a real fun pickup because he's such a cool artist, and that's a very interesting book. Doesn't it though? Three Good Nerds. I was pretty impressed with it. So I see people entering hashtag first. Weapon X. The crew made it back from Dallas. I heard Paul was looking at property up there once he signs next season's contract. That may or may not be confirmed. May not be.
Which contract? One contract, Weapon. Really don't.
He knows that 87% of the budget for the giveaway show goes to Paul's salary.
Huh.
So there aren't any monorails in Dallas. That's right, there are not.
There aren't any. That's why Carlos was upset, guys.
That's why Carlos, yeah. All right, hey, to the almost 20 people that are watching right now, make sure and hit that like button if you haven't already. We're going to get started. We're going to get this. We're going to do this first giveaway in just a moment. Remember, hashtag image first for your chance to win. All right, image first. Let's go ahead and bring.
You got me. Oh.
Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and bring up the giveaway tool and get that going. All right. Hey, so Fan Expo Dallas is an annual convention that happens in the Dallas Metroplex area. And it is, we've covered it now, I think, for 4 or 5 years. I don't know. I'm losing count of the years. I just know that all 3 of my kids have been, and I know that is and now I can say that I've now traveled with Paul and the future Batman to go up there. So all in all, it was a great year. It was a great year. There's a couple of things that I would, and I should have reached out to Fan Expo Dallas for comments about one of the things that we'll bring up or that we'll mention. But I mean, all in all, it was a really good convention. It's solid, it's stable. It's been going for several years, so they've kind of got a good amount of the issues kind of sorted out and ironed out. It's a fairly streamlined affair. I think one of the biggest shortcomings that happened last year and happened again this year was the food situation in the food situation in the expo hall. Still no good solution for that. I think I think my suggestion to Fan Expo Dallas would be I don't know. I mean, you can't fit more tables and chairs in there. There's no room. You can't put more food places in there because there's no room. So we left the convention hall. We went across to the owner's box and had lunch over there instead of trying to, because I just told the guys, I said, it's pointless to try to go get in line and wait for like either a drink or a whatever. Let's just go somewhere comfortable. And the nice thing about the owner's box was it was not crowded. It was a good it was. But I mean, I think apart from the meals, and then the other big kind of downside was there were some situations where guests changed their pricing after the beginning of the convention. And the same, kind of response that they got was that we got about it was that Fan Expo was taking a cut of their earnings, and so they raised their price. But I don't know. It's usually these things are worked out ahead of time. You don't start a convention at one price and then raise your prices for whatever reason. So, yeah, I don't know. And see, here's the thing. There's a couple of I get it if you're an actress and you land in Dallas and you come to the thing and you realize, oh, I'm not getting as much as I thought I was, so the price needs to go up. I can understand that, but I also still don't agree with it, because I think that that's one of those things where if you're not aware of those details ahead of time, you need to get either get better representation or pay more attention. So yeah, and that happened at a couple of tables. I haven't reached out to Fan Expo Dallas for any kind of comment on that, but we may do that in the future and kind of update you on it, because I don't think it's a good, as one person we spoke to pointed out, people budget for this. And we talk on the show extensively about budgeting for conventions. And so you've got to budget, you've got to know how much to take, and something like that can be a big impact. Now, I'm not griping about it. I'm just saying it's one of those small things, because we've gotten used to never seeing the price ahead of time and kind of gauging and guessing. And I've said on the show before to always budget for up to $30 per signature, just in case. And then you're pleasantly surprised, like I was. I'll share a few of the things I got signed and tell you all about, because I ended up with quite a few free autographs, and that was just an awesome thing. That's because the talent is like super cool about it, and they understand fandom, and they wanted to support fandom. So I really enjoyed that. I thought it was great. So let's see. Okay, I see you guys already going in here. How much time did Paul spend at the Buc-ee's on the way up there? We didn't stop at a Buc-ee's, actually.
Well, see, there you go, Weapon, because I told the navigator to stop at a Buc-ee's, and we were nowhere near a Buc-ee's, guys.
That is a lot. The amount of times you get away with lying on the air.
Wait, man, I'm just saying your navigation skills.
All right. Okay, Paul scratching lotto tickets. It's a comic book show, Paul. All right.
Scratching lotto tickets. I ain't scratching no lotto ticket.
Is unacceptable. Sounds like Democratic. It's not real. Justin's price going up to when he is famous. Don't you worry. Wonder if that played in some of the late cancellations. No, I mean it. Not really. I think the cancellations were what they were. Actually, the thing I was most pleased with was that instead of a cancellation, we got a late stage add-on, and all of a sudden Tony S. Daniel was back. He had dropped out a while back, and then all of a sudden the week of, he was back on, and he was there. And so I thought that was amazing, because I've been looking for autographs from Tony Daniel for a while now. So I just thought it was really cool that he was able to make it, end up making it, was able to end up making it. Let's see, yeah. So this is Noctera #1, cover A, now signed by Tony S. Daniel at the bottom. So yeah, I mean, stuff that was awesome about Fan Expo Dallas. The autograph prices were fantastic. They really made it a point to make sure that it was affordable for most fans, for most personalities to do the show. I'd like
to add a take on that one. So
yeah.
Saying, like, guys, so what we will say next year or future, from what I've observed, if you want a certain guy like John Boy, John Boy, not really. Ryan Otley was by far the busiest guy there at the show. His line was long the whole weekend. Last year it was never like that. So if you're gunning for a person on Friday, I would say either take care of it that day or know when the times are, because the people, the representation there, the volunteers are telling you arrive here at this time. And I've learned, like, if you, whatever they tell you, like say come line up at 2:30, be there at like 1:30 hanging out, because people have told me that they'll go at the time that they say, and there's already a line and it's capped, meaning like there's no more people going into that line. So wherever you wanted, wherever you want for the con, make sure that you're going there and taking care of that, because you'll just see, like, you'll just be there not knowing what to do. But yeah, try to get there early. And yeah, that's the only thing that I had about it. The volunteers would tell you a certain time to line up, and if you listen to them, you will probably be out. Because people go over there and then they just straggle around there, they chill around there, and you're thinking like, well, if I go at what times they say, then I'll be able to make it. And then by the time you're there, it's just like, no,
yeah,
I'm sorry, sir, the line's closed. And you're like, well, you told me to come back at 2:30, and line's already.
But everybody else was there at 1:45.
That's what Collector told me about Donnie Cates. Like, Donnie Cates had a little issue coming in. He canceled Friday. His flight was really delayed, but then they were like, he's going to be here at this time. Luckily, Collector stuck around and was able to get in line, but that line was already... He's like, that line was long. Yeah.
Yeah, the Donnie Cates line was long, but it was not... yeah, it was. I don't think it was the longest line that was there.
And then too, like me and Carlos were studying in line for Nathan Dirty, and I think the way they had the line was just they have to do better. They have to put people at a certain place, because people were walking up while we were in line, and that was just, it was just like, watch, other people are gonna go in the front. People kept going to the spots, and the lady kept telling them that there's a line back here, and we're just like, man, it's just not. It's more feasible maybe to put the line straight where you could go. Clayton Crane's line was just, that was just crazy, because he was way over at the corner, and then they had you line up at the end, and it just was like, what? Because people don't know. And they're going up to the table, and people are just like, no, you're not supposed to be here. The line's back that way. And it's just, some of that was just unorganized. They've been doing this for a long time. Some of those could have been changed during the show, but I guess they kept it like that. That way they're like, well, we'll probably change it next year or something.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know. I don't know that they're ever going to solve the line situation.
It was kind of like Jeff Loeb the year before. Jeff Loeb and Art Adams. Poor Art Adams is just right there, and Jeff Loeb's line's going around. People are like trying to get to Art Adams, and then everybody's like, are you in the Jeff Loeb line? No. And then it's like, oh, okay, Art Adams is right here, but Jeff Loeb's line just engulfed his spot. So I don't know. I mean,
Clayton Crane had a pretty... him and Nathan Zerdy had a pretty consistent line.
Yeah. The one that had the most was Ryan Otley. Wow.
Yeah, but he was on the opposite end, so that kind of... See, that's the thing. At like one end, they had the divider things set up to where they could snake a line, and they had a big block of space for lines.
Yeah, but so what I was saying was, like, people like me too. I went up to the Ryan Otley, and it was like 3 or 4 people. So I was like, oh, okay. But the lady kept telling people, hey, the line's back this way. And you're literally in line for Ryan Otley. You literally walk around past Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, who had the line that lipped around, that was more controlled. You walked past him, you passed the inker, I guess the inker was with them. You passed Tony Daniel, you passed Who was the other person? There was one more person I think that was in there before you got to Ryan Otley, which was at the end. And I was like, why do you have that line that way going around? It's just a bunch of cluster to me. It's easier to keep the crowd control in the line where people can see, but they just couldn't see it. No, and it's just like, I don't blame them. I did it too. I went up there and the lady's like, sorry, sir, the line's back this way. I'm like, where's the line? You literally had to walk around. And guess where the hell you had to line up at? Just, I don't know, just some of that stuff they should fix, but I don't know if they ever will.
Yeah, I think they're at the point where they've pretty much got a lockdown lineup, kind of, or like layout of how they're doing it. But I mean, it was okay. I didn't feel like any line was like super crazy. But then I didn't stand in the Ryan Otley line. I pretty much decided once we got there and saw what was going on that I wasn't even going to try for Otley. I had some Otley books.
You'd fit right into the nerds.
I just said no.
I will say this: Ryan Otley, the Battle Beast phenomenon is in high gear, guys. Because I went last year. I went to New Orleans. Carlos graciously got me a pass to New Orleans. I talked to him in New Orleans for like an hour on Sunday. Nobody. Couple of people, stragglers, whatever. Comic Palooza, I talked to him for like good 30-40 minutes. Last year at Dallas, I got to talk to him. This year, that line was insane.
Yeah, I've never seen Ryan Otley that busy. Like I've seen him at 3 or 4 different conventions over the past 8 years, and he's never had a line.
Yeah, I went up to him. I stood in line, got the few signatures, and I was like, congratulations, man, because you're doing it, buddy. He's like, yeah, man. He remembered me from New Orleans, and that was cool. We were shooting and talking, and I told him, I need a picture with you, and he graciously gave me a picture. But people were just hounding him with signing Battle Beast, signing Invincible, this and this and that. And it was like, I was like, man, you're so busy. He's like, yeah, man, not like the days in New Orleans where I got to talk, but
yeah,
got to see him, and then went on my way to try to find Carlos, which everybody was, huddled around Carlos, guys. And it's like, man, crazy when you walk with him around the con.
And people are like, sir, could you please, your backpack is knocking into people.
They're like, aren't you on YouTube? I'm like, yeah, that's Carlos Calais Comics. They're like, oh, no.
I wish we got recognized at the conventions.
Hey, man, he recognized me, El Green. That was cool.
Let me show these real quick. Paul, do you have a few books you want to show off?
Okay. Okay, so
I'm going to come back to you. So as I shared last week for the pre-show, my strategy was to make tiers of the different people I was trying to get. And Timothy Zahn, I had no idea how much he was going to be or what the situation was going to be at his table. Thankfully, I got there, and I had budgeted to pay as much as $30 per signature for him.
That was the first one you got to when we got there, right?
Yeah, I went like that Friday. I had about an hour and a half at the convention. I went straight to Timothy Zahn. And y'all know that, I think y'all know the story that I shared last week. So these 3 books are all first prints of the Heir to the Empire. And then the second book was the one that was inscribed by my grandfather. I showed it off last week. I'll just flash it real quick here. And so, but now, it's now signed and inscribed by Timothy Zahn.
And
he wrote a Thrawn quote there. So the pricing for Timothy Zahn was as follows. If you went to, because he was brought in by comicsketchart.com, and so his deal was if you had a novel, so he had both novels and graphic novels, which is collections of Thrawn comics for sale at his booth. The pricing was, if you had a novel, the novel was free. the signature was free, and he would personalize it for free. I didn't understand the difference between a personalization and an inscription, so I paid for one book to be inscribed, which is the quote from Thrawn. I paid $10, but otherwise it was free for him to write for Carlos and then sign it, with his name and the date. So this book, completely free to get autographed, the first print of the first book. This one was completely free to get his autograph and personalization, but it was $10 for the Thrawn quote. But I felt like that was a good book to do it with because that's the one that my grandfather inscribed. And then this book was completely free for him to personalize and autograph. So for all three books, for all three novels, I ended up paying a grand total of $10 when I had budgeted to spend as much as $90. So that helped right off the bat. I don't think I would have been able to get some of the other things done this weekend if I hadn't, if that hadn't worked out. But again, he was, I've been tracking him for a long time to try to get an autograph, to try to get my books autographed from him. So I did place him at the very top of the list. And that's the kind of cool stuff that, when you budget, that's one of the neat things is if you budget at the high end, then it's a pleasant surprise if you run into a situation like this where the autographs are free. And because these are personal copies, these are books that one of my kids will get when I pass away. So I don't plan on selling them or doing anything with them or giving them away or anything. So I was perfectly okay with him inscribing it to me or personalizing it to me. And it was just I probably wouldn't have even paid the $10 for the inscription if I'd understood the difference between personalization and inscription. But Timothy's an incredibly pleasant guy, very nice, very mild, just very kind of calm and scholarly is the word I would use. And he's exactly what I imagined he would be, very nice. And when I showed him the inscription from my grandfather, he thanked me for showing him, and he thought that was really neat that, that book was inscribed all the way back in 1992, and I've had it all the way since then. Now, there was one other item that I did get him to sign. So I took my copy of Heir to the Empire, issue number 1. You've seen me share it on Instagram. I took that to have him sign it, and he did go ahead and sign that one. That was $20 for a comic book signature, and so any comic book, no matter what or no matter how he signed it. So that one I did go ahead and decide to send off for grading because we had facilitator companies that we were connected to and witnesses that we were connected to. So did go ahead and send that one in to get graded at the advice of a friend. But that was $20 for that signature. Now, I couldn't have done so. I did not do the entire set that I had considered doing. I thought about having him sign the whole set of books because I do have all I think 5 or 6 of the issues.
Weapon clarified what you got people scared in the chat.
What do you mean?
Because he said when you pass away and Weapon said you're living forever.
It'll be long. Nobody's passing away. Crosscuts will be on forever. We are close to easy deal with the budget AI.
The AI image?
Yeah, man.
They said the AI image will be in development. It's almost completed.
Yeah, so that was the deal. Was the books? I wanted to get them knocked out on my shortest day of the convention. I was carrying big store folios with me to do it. Yeah, and there are.
And tell everybody what you finally took with you.
There's 6 books. There are six total books in the first Heir to the Empire deal, but I only had him sign the first one because again, I didn't have the budget for more than that, and I didn't want to use too much money on that. I had a very, very limited budget on this trip, but I tried to stretch it, as much as possible and get the most bang for my buck, and also, to make sure that I could get something from each of the channel members. So let's see. don't want to be carrying those books around too long. Yeah. And yeah, it does. So, Alicia Silverstone did cancel. I see y'all talking about it. I'm just going to it. I see a lot going on here in the chat. I don't know. Three Good Nerds, were you there? I don't think you were there. Were you there? Let's see. For my dad's passing from the software cancer, I spent all day celebrating his life. That's good. That's good, man. Those anniversaries, it's really good to.
Yeah, sorry about that, Dagger card.
Let's go ahead and bring the giveaway on and get this knocked out. If you haven't done it, #ImageFirst is the way to win. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and run this right now, and then we're going to keep it moving because we're at 10 o'clock. We've got 30 more minutes. Producer Weapon X is about to message us, and Producer D, we don't want to get her on the phone because she will get after it. All right, here we go, folks. Good luck to everybody for this 5-pack of Image First. In 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Good luck, Carlo.
Let's see who it is.
Let's see, Carlo. Come on. Raphael.
Oh. All right, Rafael Jimenez. You and Mary are the lucky winners.
No, Raphael, not Mary.
Oh, sorry. This nice 5-pack of Image First. Some great reading materials, some fun reprints. Fun books.
They get all 5?
They get all 5. They get all 5-pack.
Yeah, Raphael, don't let Mary read them. Those are for you, Raphael. Not for Mary. Thank you, Mr. Carlos. You didn't win, Mary. It was Raphael.
You're just rude.
Come on.
All right.
You're the one saying congrats, Mary, and she didn't win.
Oh, did he just get an Invincible #1?
What?
That's a big book.
He just got the what?
What goes back over there?
I don't know what he's talking about.
All right. So we'll be doing the second giveaway shortly here, folks. I'll drop that in just a moment. But okay, so some cool pickups that got done at the convention. So y'all know that I also so this was kind of the year of getting of catching up with people that I've been looking for a while to get signatures from. Coley Hamner, one of the co-creator of Blue Beetle, was there, and so this was kind of cool because this one was actually an error. We got 2 of them. I had 2 of these, the movie edition. They were signed and inscribed to each of my daughters to keep reading. And then for Dad got my 2 first prints signed. He was only $5 per signature. So I had him sign both of my copies of the first print, issue #1. Did something a little different for the second print. Had him do 1 in each color, 1 blue and 1 yellow. And then my third print that I've had for quite some time that had been looking for his signature. This is my favorite. The design variant had him sign that as well. And that was only $5 a piece for all the signatures that I got from him, but I didn't mind doing that. He and I had been connected on Instagram, so it was fun to finally get to meet him. We talked and compared burgers and places to eat. So that was pretty cool.
I love that chicken salad.
Not there at the convention.
Oh.
So I showed them on Instagram. I'm very pleased with how they turned out, except for the white and orange marker. I think those markers are going to be retired now. But my Transformers G.I. Joe set, the blue and the purple turned out fantastic. Paul, I'm going to come over to you right after this set here. Yeah, so this one I went with blue because of the hints of blue from the Optimus Prime.
I don't see no blue.
And then went with purple because of, you can see Ravage's Decepticon logo. So I went with purple for this one where he's fighting Snake Eyes. All right, Transformers and G.I. Joe number 3. Love that pose from Cobra Commander, but it's got now the blue Jay Lee signature pops really well. That's why I like paint markers. So this was the white marker. The white marker was starting to fade. I thought it was primed and was flowing, but it didn't quite, the signature didn't quite look as good on this one. So I would have loved to have just done a different color altogether. Yellow would have looked good because my yellow marker was still going good. And then this was the orange one. The orange marker just came out looking kind of brown. So it kind of blends in with the cover. But, you know, I got it signed, you know, he signed it, and he really liked how this is my favorite cover, this Megatron cover, and he signed it up there right next to it, so it really pops.
That's Tony Stank's favorite cover. Yeah, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
all right. Cool. So these were, so those are just a couple of the books that I snagged. We'll show a couple of the other ones as well, but let me go and send it over to Paul.
All right, guys.
Oh yeah. Oh, real quick. I'm sorry. So real quick, just for pricing data, the Jay Lee's signature, even with the Century hype right now, his signature continues to hold steady at $10 per book.
That's
so
cool. With the Century
$10 per book. Yeah. That's so, and this was not one that I thought I would get signed at this convention, but I brought it anyway because, you know, it's G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I said, you know, well, if somehow I end up having the margin to be able to do it, I'd like to have the books with me, and so I'm glad I did, because it was actually with the Timothy Zahn savings that helped make this work. So all right, let's go ahead and go to Paul and see what he's got for us.
All right, so I got the other one. I gotta find it, but like I showed y'all this book when on last Wednesday when I said, so I got it taken with me. John Boy Myers signed it. What's about him is that if he had a 1 in 100 ratio, he was charging 100 to sign it, but this one's just a variant cover, so it was 20. I liked how you used the blue to match the font up here. I'm gonna get with Carlos and see what if he can find me this ink pen color, because I'll probably get, because Peter Cullen's coming to Houston, so I'm gonna add probably his signature. Just love the Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I might steal that idea, Paul.
Huh? Oh yeah, but I was gonna ask you to help me find this ink marker.
Okay, that one, yeah.
Yeah, since I'm gonna probably get him to sign right here above him. But yeah, I like Optimus Prime. I love this cover. I have the Battle Damage one, but I didn't take it with me. So we got the ratio that I got. Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder on that. The Court of Owls. Well, this is the new.
I don't think I've ever seen that cover before.
Yeah, it's the 1 in 25.
So hey, do the pricing data. Remember to give pricing data.
Yeah, so this was 20. This was 10 apiece. Greg Capullo was 10 and Scott Snyder was 10. No matter what it was. Had to get the original New 52. This was like the first reboot of the Batman line, like first series reboot. Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder, right there. And this one was cool. So this is first full Court of Owls. This is the 1 in 25 Gary Freak. But, so Scott Snyder.
Oh, that's good. What is that? Is that a paint marker or is that a Sharpie?
I think so. What happens is Greg Capullo signed it, and then Scott Snyder was like, "Let me borrow that pen he was using," and signed the same pen.
That looks nice, dude.
And then this one, they both signed the same silver color.
Nice.
So, but what it is crazy is like they were like, "You have two of the same book." I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder, and so I had my Absolute Batman. Scott Snyder wrote it, had him signed on there, the A cover. I was thinking about getting it graded, but then I was like, nah. I may add somebody, maybe send it in later or something. So, yeah. We get to this one. This is good. So I gave this to Ryan Otley, still sealed. He signed, and he was cool about it. He's got the yellow and signed between the eyes, but it took him a little bit because I was like, I want you to sign this. And he was like, you want me to open the bag? And I was like, no, I want you to sign it on the bag. And he was like, you want me to sign on the bag? I said, yes, on the bag. And he's like, you sure you don't want me to take it out? I said, no, I want you to sign on the bag. So he's like, you know what? You're the first one I've ever, this is the first one he told me that he signed on the bag. Because he was just like, what? Okay. But $10.
I think it's kind of cool that you went ahead, because I wasn't a fan of you doing that, but I think now it's really cool because
the only reason why I did it, guys, is because Friday he had the bloody signature, so it would have been like that. The bloody signature was $20, but when I went in line to get the signature, it went up to $50. So I had 3 books, and I was like, you know what? I just want you to sign 3 books. So the signature was only 10. So yeah, it was pretty cool because he chose to sign in between the eyes, but he was like, this is the first blind bag I've signed that I signed. He didn't sign any. So I really like this artist, and he was there. So I got the medal. This is Psylocke medal, signed by Jamie Tyndall. And he put the swords. Add the touch to that. So yeah. So that was 10. This one, when you bought it, he threw in the signature on certain ones, but since I bought a metal cover, he threw in the signature.
How much was the metal cover?
It was 60.
Mm-hmm.
She's shiny. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh. I got the roast besh. I got a roast besh. And she was 10. And she put her signature with the heart. Oh. And thanks to Collector, the return to Donnie Cates. Donnie Cates returned. So Collector was in line. I needed this Fort Prince signed. I knew he was going to be there. So I told Collector, can you do it in red? And he got it for me. Red. I think Donnie Cates charging 10. Here. So that was cool. Thanks, Collector. Zozo Micah was there. And I got this book done by her. She chose the color. And I guess I wanted it in like a silver, but she said the blue would make it like pop her signature on the cover so you can tell her signature. So I was like, okay. So it was 15 for her. But that's her Harley.
That's a really good cover.
Oh, yeah, there we go. And I think Carlos was with me when I did these. So like I said, guys, I'm a big Transformer guy. This is Alan Quaz. And me and Carlos messed up because he had a beautiful sound wave and we didn't get it. But so one's in red. Yeah. And what I did was, like, since Starscream has red and blue, so I told him to sign that one in red and this one in blue. So I think it just makes the book pop.
Yeah, I like it when you. I like doing like for multiple copies, doing the different color signatures. The only thing is it makes it hard to get rid of one of them.
Yeah, because they're both different. If they were both the same, probably get rid of it. But yeah, so like his cover on that. I love Transformer. I got him to sign those two. They were like,
real quick, I'm going to jump in here for something you said. So one of the things like, you know, with budgeting for a convention is, you know, you have to make hard choices. You know, you're going to come across books that you really, really want at the convention that you didn't plan on buying. But, you know, like you mentioned, there was a Soundwave cover that Alan Quad did that we both really liked. And I wanted to buy more Transformers variant covers because they just all look so good. But, you know, the reality is if you're on a tight budget, you have to make hard decisions, and you have to say, okay, I'm going to do it. You know, so real quick, Paul, I'm going to show this, and you can pull yours. That you might have yours. I don't know what you ended up doing with yours, but I kept the Supergirl #1 by that artist. Remember, with the cool signature. Did you send yours for grading or
no? It's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll show. So Paul and I were walking in, like, towards the front of the convention hall. There was a couple of, like, those like Comics Elite and Night of Comics, a couple of, you know, just variant cover producers. You know, that's basically what they do. And there was this new artist, like, across from Sozo Micah and Don McTeague was I can't even pronounce his name. I kept his card. All right, but he did this Supergirl. You've probably seen it already on Instagram, but it is just a phenomenal cover. And then
we told him to do the signature.
Yeah, and so Paul had the idea to have him do a tricolor signature, so he did it here. I wish he had done it over here instead, but he'd already.
Where mine's at.
Yeah. So this is a nice one. This is going into the personal collection, but it was one of those ones that I said, okay, you know, I generally don't buy variants, but I went ahead for this one. I said I'm going to go ahead and buy it, and then yeah, I think it was.
Oh, now that you said that, Tony Stink.
You had to pay for the. You should pay for the. We had to pay for the
signature.
Signature on top of paying for the book.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it was okay. I was okay with doing it because, yeah, like I said, I generally don't do it, but this was just a really cool, beautiful cover. There was a foil version, but I'm kind of getting past foils now because they're just much more expensive. And so this one I wanted to do, but I wanted Paul to show his off as well because it was such a beautiful cover, and
Carlos was there to see that remark.
Wasn't familiar. Yeah, no, I was there for the Vampirella remark, which is great.
Yeah, so what he's talking about, guys. So I got this one, and he did the symbol. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. What was that? Oh, here. So Carlos was with me. I got this one done first. Very first thing I got done because I missed her last year, and I wanted this book done by Zozo Micah, so it just pops on there. So that was the first thing I did. Carlos was with me on that one. And then this one, this is a nice guy too. Was it Brett Bordeaux? Was it Bordeaux? But he signed it right here. This is like the cameo of Wolverine, I think. This is the variant cover. See his claws and Ghost Rider. So him to sign that. I really like that book. And this one right here is pretty cool. So me and Carlos, we're gonna go in line and actually buy this at the and this is what they definitely pop. Thank you, buddy. So me and Carlos, we were at the Fan Expo exclusive covers where they had the stand, and the line was just long, and me and him were just like, let's go. And that's what I would tell you guys, just go and check out the individuals booths, write down the names of the covers. So this was one that me and him picked up, and this one was $15 at their stand. But then if you went to Alan Qua's his table, this was $10 with the signatures. Got his signature, beautiful saber tooth Wolverine. I really like this cover. I chose this over the Transformers, which I don't know. Every time I look at it, I like it. So, and then he put the red letter signature. So it was 10 with the signature, and we were like, wow, we almost bought it at the stand for 15. And then Uncle Lee was there. He was doing one free signature, so I got this Catwoman in Uncle Lee signature. Really nice. And Carlos was with me when I got this one done, and he said it was really good. The other one's not with me, but I had this Miles Clayton Crane for a little while, and Carlos was with me, and he signed it the dual color signature. So I had him do like match the suit. So one was darker color and then the red. So I guess it came out all right.
Yeah, I thought that one turned out really well.
Yeah. So he usually signs like across. And somebody was telling me, well, maybe he won't sign. So I wanted him to sign it like that to match with the suit. So he signed it going down. So really good. Really pops when it's in your hand. I think if I take it out, it'll shine better. But yeah, Carlos was with me when I got that one. And he was like, wow, guy, wow, Paul, that thing really popped. Had to let it dry for a little, and make sure y'all take a fan with you, which is what I'm gonna do. Some of these ink painting markers take forever to dry. Really cool. I had this one for a while. He was there, and I was like, I'm gonna get the dual. So the dual signature, dual color was the plain signature was 20. This was 25. There was more when you add more colors. I think they said he wasn't doing it, but they had the price of the Infinity Bloody, I don't know, signature. Remember the guy ahead of us had like 5 books, and he had that high dollar signature where he's just going to town. The bottom was getting stuff. Yeah, Carlos was like, wow, that is so cool. And you could tell you could tell his pocket wasn't happy with him.
Let's do this. Okay, so this whole idea of a menu of signatures, Clayton Crane, that's like his thing. Yeah. Right? He started it, and now others are starting to do it. So he has everything from a was it a $10 or $15 nano signature, which is just
I think the base one was 20, like just one color, his signature. That's it.
No. He has the smaller one that's basically just a C and then R U or something. Like it's just it's
like on the like this on the bottom of the like this one.
Right. Yeah. He calls that a nano signature.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I didn't even see that.
That's like 10. I think it's either 10 or $15. Then it goes all the way up to $180 for a signature.
Yeah.
And the guy in front of us, that Paul's talking about. So he did, and I have like I think a couple of video clips of it.
Oh yeah, because you told him can I film it? Yeah.
Yeah. So he took a chrome marker and he wrote his name, Clayton Crane, the full name. Then he took orange, yellow, and white paint markers and made it flames across the like almost like a Ghost Rider signature. And that was really cool. I'd never seen that before.
What was it? Was it the Hulk or was it something where he had the green and the other one?
It was on I think it was on a Hulk book. So it kind of, I don't know, it kind of didn't fit, but it just was such an eye-catching signature. But the one that was the most impressive, I thought, was on a copy of Carnage USA #1, I think.
Oh yeah, with the flag. Yeah.
Yeah, where wrapped in the flag, he did a red, white, and blue gradient signature that started with dark red, white, light blue, and dark blue, and then had a bunch of specks and stuff flying around it. I mean, we're talking about the guy spent somewhere between 120 and 150 per signature to have him do that on the book. And I think it's really cool, but then I look over at like a Nathan Zerdy who is putting the same kind of effort, but he's not charging anywhere near that amount. And so I don't know. I think it comes down to if you're a fan of Clayton Crane, which I'm not, and if the book is a real important book to you, then I can see spending that on it. But yeah, it was crazy to think about $180 for a signature.
Yeah, that was like the most expensive one, and he was.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to say, but I mean, just standing beside him and seeing, he was happy. I mean, Clayton Crane was into it, but I mean, Carlos was just like, he was just like, wow, look at and I'm sitting there like, hey man, hold on, calm down, buddy. But anyway,
not being in the spotlight.
What? It wasn't my turn. But anyway, but when you see it up close, it's really a cool experience because it's like you're seeing the book and then all that stuff is going into it. And I mean, nah, that wasn't me. I was like, nah, there's no way.
Yeah. I mean, because it was kind of like it got a bit exorbitant with the pricing on some of these signatures. Because to me, anything over $30 for an autograph, like the person has to be some kind of a legend, And I think Clayton Crane, I don't know that he's there at that point where I could justify spending more than $30 on a signature, but I want a full signature and I want it to look nice. So, that's where I couldn't see myself doing that. But I thought another thing that was really interesting that I'll make sure and share with y'all. So the Clayton Crane booth was pretty sizable, and he did tell us that he is exclusive to Fan Expo Dallas. Yeah. He will not appear at other conventions, only the Fan Expo conventions.
Well, he said the guy told us that the line San Diego and New York he'll do, and then a couple of international.
Yeah, but it was a very large booth. But here's one of the interesting things. So they had a setup on Saturday where he had a camera over the spot where he was drawing.
Oh yeah, when he was signing.
And they had a large monitor kind of behind him and to the side, right. So you could stand back and watch him do the work. And I think that's a brilliant move because watching these artists, like watching him put that kind of detail into the signature, makes somebody want to go ahead and buy one themselves. And I thought that was a really sharp move. And I've not seen that done before, but for these guys who are doing very detailed signatures.
And also, too, I'll elaborate what he was saying. Like, remember when I put my books on that little tray that he also had where you could drag it? That was really good because you're not really messing with the book too much. They're not too many hands are touching it. I like that.
They've got these foam like paddles
with his name on it and all that.
Long. Yeah, it had his name on the handle and then a design on it, and you put your books on that, and that's how you move your books around. And I really like that because it takes care of the book. It makes sure it's not going to be damaged. Anyway, so it was, it was a cool experience to see these different creators, and I think it's good for us to be able to share with y'all some of the pricing data on autographs. And but I was very encouraged and excited by the number of free $5 and $10 autographs that were available, because there were a lot of people there, like a lot of guests there, comic creators, who would sign the first one free, and then everyone after that was expensive. Now, the tough part to deal with to navigate with the signatures was the flippers, and they were there. I don't think I'd ever seen this many flippers at a convention. They were dragging wagons, and they had short boxes full of books. One guy actually I actually complimented him on it. I said, "Man,
organized.
That system is amazing that you got there." He had all the yellow signature bags, and then he had a whole bunch of orange ones, and he had everything filed and sorted. And I mean, the guy was obviously a retailer of some sort, getting a whole bunch of books. And that was the thing. There's with Whatnot and eBay Live and all these different platforms to sell.
They were actually selling there.
There's so many more people that are trying to get a piece of the pie. And we were having this conversation, afterward at the Airbnb, that, with so many people trying to grab little bites of it, and the flippers all got mad at people like John Boy Myers, who said, no, if you have a 1 in 100, it's going to cost you $100 to buy. But the reality is if the flipper is going to, got the 1 in 100 for whatever they got it for, which is probably nothing, because they probably ordered up to the 1 in 100 to get it for free. But then if this one guy came up with 5 of them, it's obvious he's going to flip them. It's obvious he's going to get them graded. So why shouldn't the artist get a chunk of that? Because you have so many people trying to flip and sell these books and these collectibles, that it's like, it just adds more. And these artists, that's why they started charging more for signatures, because they want to, they wisely want to get a piece of the pie. And so I don't fault them for it. I just think it's a natural byproduct of the industry as it currently stands. And Paul and I were talking about the idea that it might be, we were talking about the fact that it might be something that starts, like cause another crash in the industry, because you have so many variants. And then, like, there was people in front of us that had suitcases full of Nathan Zerdy books that they were getting signed.
Oh yeah, and they were getting us through the line because
it was crazy. The guy was pulling out, like, so this book right here, right? So I got this off of the stand at Lone Star Heroes. This dude must have had about 35 copies of this book. And he got them all signed.
Yeah.
And was probably getting some of them graded. They
were pausing. They were pausing. They could keep the line moving because.
Yeah, no, they would keep having people, like, people go around him Because these guys show up with these suitcases and then they plant themselves in line, and it's like you have somebody right behind them, like Mike Villarreal, 2 books, but he's stuck behind one of these guys that have like 500, copies of whatever to have it done. And again, it's not hitting the player, it's just the game. That's what the game is right now. And so So the guy had like a bunch of, he had a stack of like 20 foils of that cover.
In Huck Lee, guys, this is the in Huck Lee, Old Man Logan, Wolverine. I got him signed. He signed it in red. Matched his little thing that he does. So forgot about that one, but yeah.
Yeah,
Wolverine.
The guy was at a different. He was at a different booth, and he was trying to convince them to sell him a bunch of copies and they were just like, "Dude, you're a flipper." And he was like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just a big fan." Somebody actually said that. The guy actually said that at one of the deals, that he was not a flipper, that he was just a really big fan. Like, whatever, man.
Yeah, I believe him.
All right. Yeah. No, of course, Paul believes him. Mr. 87% markup. All right. Let's take a look. I'm going to show a couple more of these, and we're going to do our second giveaway of the night because we are past time. It's 10:37. Producer Weapon X is already sending mean text messages saying, "Why are y'all still going?" All right, so this is Alien #1 this is the first Marvel series. This is the In-Hyuk Lee variant, now autographed by both Philip Kennedy Johnson and In-Hyuk Lee in silver Sharpie. So I thought that was kind of a cool pickup. This is a favorite. This one may end up living with me, may end up staying with me. So this is X-23 Deadly Regenesis #2, Nathan Zerdy variant cover. It's exclusive variant.
Did you buy that at the booth?
All the lines around here, he drew those in. All those little orange and greenish lines. And then you see he signed it to the side there. So I just really like how this cover turned out. And then I'll go ahead and show off this one. So I don't have a copy of the original. This is going to be my case to make for get me the original, and I'll get rid of this copy. Uncanny X-Men #129. First appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde, signed by Nathan Zerdy. So this is one of the exclusive variants I picked up. So until I get 129, I'm going to hold on to this one. I know, Joffrey Cat. Some of these books may end up for sale. They may end up for sale because I gotta get the channel bringing in more. So I may put it up on expensive paper. Remember, you can go find me on Instagram. I'll do that quick shout out while I'm thinking about it. On Instagram, it's at expensivepaper.co is the deal. I put books for sale up there. That's my sales page on Instagram. I have a whole bunch more books that need to go up there, including an entire Miles Morales collection. For those who are Miles fans, I'll be putting those, and some of those are autographed books. Be putting them, but yeah, this White Queen variant may go up there with a suggested retail autograph with a COA with a suggested retail price of $25. But we'll have to wait and see. So I'll go ahead and bring it back over to Paul. All right, let me bring it back. Actually, we need to do our second giveaway because we haven't done our second giveaway.
Oh, you're all over the place. You tired?
Dude, I am all over the place, and I am exhausted. Not even thinking straight, folks. No, I literally have scheduled tomorrow. The entire day, I'm doing nothing but sleeping. I'm just staying in bed the whole day. All right, let's do this second giveaway. This is for the Grendel Behold the Devil #1. Thanks to our good buddy Dotson for sending this in. As an A-OK. All right. Hashtag Hello Queen for your chance to win. That's not the giveaway, though. It's not the giveaway. This is the giveaway. Grendel, Behold the Devil, #1. I don't know. You know, this might have to be an auction book, Paul. This White Queen book.
Yeah, I mean, you say you want the original, but it's the same. Like, I look at that cover, it's the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's getting quite the reaction in the chat. So it looks like it's going to be a popular book. All right, make sure and hit that like button. So the deal is that a couple of other things I would say is that there is no shortage of spots near the convention hall to be able to stay at. So keep that in mind. Proximity to the convention itself.
Yeah, closer is better, guys. So where we were at was pretty good. Yeah, just a few knickknacks, but yeah, it was pretty good. I ain't gonna complain. You want me to show off a few and then that's it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have you show off a couple. I was just looking. There's a little bit of a bend to this.
Okay, I can do it right here, huh?
There's a little bit of a bend to this one.
Oh, there was.
You pressed out. Yeah.
You bought at the booth.
Yeah, I got it at the booth.
Oh.
It's okay. It's gonna be fine.
So at that same where the Supergirl was, I got this nice Vampirella Virgin. It's pretty nice cover. Got some. I forgot I had these, but Jamie Tyndall on Poison Ivy. Sign right there, pops a little bit. There's what Carlos is talking about, his rendition of White Queen, signed by him. Got the little X-Men logo in the back. Jamie Tyndall. I like this one. This is the Red Sonja, signed by Tyndall. So I think it is a Red Sonja run, I believe. Yeah, so this is a exclusive Tyndall, and it is a Dynamite Red Sonja. That was pretty cool, and it really pops. But signature on there, Red Sonja. A lot of people like his art. I got that one. And the last one, got Vampirella. And it is signed by him. Vampirella. And this one's cool. So this is Jamie Tyndall, but his homage to the Michael Turner cover. So that's Supergirl, signed by him. I think this is the homage to Michael Turner. So this was an exclusive at Fan Expo, but like I said, I like Optimus Prime. There is a connecting cover, but look at that with him with the cannon, signed by the artist. It's like a foily, but it's really cool. I may get Peter Cullen on this one, and since Megatron's arms on him, I may get Frank Welker because that is Megatron's arm. So yeah, there's his there's his signature right there. Yeah, I like the Optimus with the Megatron arm. And my last ones, yeah, I got a few Spawn, like Greg Capullo. Spawn, he did a bunch of the Spawn run. The Angel Wings, Greg Capullo. So right here on this one, I wanted him to sign, like that was his old way he did things. Greg Capullo I wanted him to do that on this, but he told me he wasn't gonna do it because he said anybody could do it. He said you could do it. I was like, well, I don't want to do it. I want you to do it. But newsstand signed by Greg Capullo, but I wanted him to do the old style, but he told me he wasn't gonna do it. Here's another newsstand. Greg Capullo. Newsstand copy. And this one you had to go to Barnes & Noble, so got Greg Capullo. He did the cover on that. And the last one is the 1 in 50 Gunslinger, Greg Capullo. All right. Appreciate it. Good buddy Carlos.
All right. We got, remember, hashtag Hello Queens or Hello Queen for your chance to win.
Oh, for
Behold the Devil #1. This is the giveaway right here.
Mm.
Wolverado's asking, no, so Wolverado here, this is part of the strategy. No, I have to, for no Lobo signatures at this show because he will be here at another local convention in August. And he's local to the areas, like he's in Austin, so it didn't really make sense to when we had other people whose signatures to get to go ahead and it didn't really make sense to spend the money right now him when we're going to be seeing him again in like
me and Carlos talked about it. We're like, well, he's here locally or he comes around locally in Houston, so we'll just get him later on when he's here. So it gave us more opening for guys that usually we don't run into. So
yeah.
So that was actually
I
did go up and talk to him and say, hey, how you doing? And he was like, hey man, and I was like, you gonna be at any other shows? He says, of course. I was like, cool.
Yeah, he's going to be around a lot, so I think
it's
okay to wait on him. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to bring up the deal. So we got 15 entries. Make sure, and almost 20 people in the chat. Make sure and hit that like button if you haven't already. If you have questions about the convention, make sure and drop those in the chat right now, because we'll try to answer those, give you information about them. Good stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, hashtag Hello Queen. Going to go ahead and run that in just a moment here. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck, Carlo.
Here we go. All right.
Oh, come on. There, no more Carlos name. Come on.
Tony Stank, congratulations, buddy. You're going to take home this copy of Grendel, Behold the Devil #1 by Matt Wagner. Fun book to be able to take home. Congratulations, Tony Stank. I'll drop this on your stack. I've got books that are shipping out very, very shortly. We are nearing the end of the season. So I'm trying to...
That's not true. I wanted Carlos to win, but you won. Congrats, Tony Stank.
Paul loves it when my name comes up on it.
Yeah, man, I want Carlos to win.
Congratulations, Stank. Congratulations, buddy.
Hey, congratulations, Tony Stank.
Oh, I just looked at this. Tony Stank's also got this in his box right here. Copy of
I just want to say I have been up to the loft up there. It took me a little bit, but I'm not sure going up and down the stairs.
Wolverado, yes, absolutely. There were multiple convention exclusives that I would have loved to have. I would have loved to have gotten all the John Boy Myers absolute books. I would have loved to. That one
That Doom one sold out quick.
I didn't want that one. Transformers number 20 was both covers. There was one cover. Paul ended up buying it. Here, hold that Transformers one up, Paul.
Oh, hold on. Let me see what I did with it.
There was both a Megatron and a Optimus Prime cover.
Yep.
And I would have loved to have gotten this particular cover. He's got, because it just looked really good. But it was not, it was one of those things I opted to get Zerdy books, and because they make for good channel member box books, as well as
and you finally got your 129, so that's good.
It's still 129. All right. But yeah, so that's kind of so there was a lot of them Wolverado, and there was the Transformers one was probably the top of the list, and then the absolute Superman John Boy Myers variant was there, and that was pretty cool. There was a Battle Beast one, but they wanted $250 for it, and I just no way I could do that. I did also pick up this John Boy Myers, because John Boy Myers has always been supportive of getting my kids. So I picked up his sketchbook volume 0, and it's just a bunch of his, it's a Kickstarter book. It's a bunch of his covers, which I usually can't afford now because they're all like high ratio books. But there's Duke and Destro from their covers. This was a cool one to get. I think my biggest heartbreak of the convention was, I'm going to show this piece. So my Power Girl #1 John Boy Myers variant, I paid to have him sign it, but then when I was switching things out in a hurry, the top got nicked. So this went from a 9.8 to maybe a 9.4 to 9.6, which was very, very, very heartbreaking because it was in beautiful shape, but now it's got a nick on the top.
Was that the one you were seeing when you came back down?
Yep. Yeah, I was very upset about it because it didn't. Honestly, it didn't need to happen. It's just people were in a hurry, and people were just arbitrarily trying to rush things, and I was like, "This is what happens." This is what happens. So there's like the littlest nick. I don't know if you can see it. You see it over by the spine. See that nick, Paul? There's that, but then the bigger one, you have to look hard. Can you see it?
I think you need
there. You see it's directly above that bird on the center of her head, and it's just it can't press out. It can't be repaired. It's just going to be a blemish that's there, and I'll know it's there, and I'll know why it's there, and that's going to drive me crazy.
Right.
I've held on to this book for, I don't know, like, gosh, a while.
Yeah. You showed it to me. I remember that book. Yeah.
So I've held on to it for a while. So for it to get damaged like that was heartbreaking. But also a couple other ones I picked up. Peter J. Tomasi, I have a ton of his comics. But one of his newest ones, The Rockefellers #1, had him sign this.
Oh, yeah, he did The Rockefellers.
Yeah, okay. Super Sons #1. This was not a high-grade copy. It actually had a couple of dings on the spine. I bought it from JT during an episode of Comics on Demand. But it's the John Boy Myers variant. So but it's written by Peter Tomasi, so now it's double signed. By John Boy Myers and Peter Tomasi, and it's a sick cover to boot. This is just one of the other Nathan Zerdy covers that he signed.
Oh, yeah, I know where that's going.
And then this is a channel number book.
Oh, I know who's getting that one.
It's signed.
Yep.
This is probably a PC book.
Oh, yeah.
And then Nathan's already. Now he didn't. When it was a busy cover, he didn't do much with the signature. He just signed it there.
I like how he added it. It kind of blends in with the book a lot to me.
It does. It really does.
He put it like to where it's almost like magazine style. So he put it like so it would blend in with the book, I think. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I liked it.
So a couple of books that. Oh yeah. And then here's one more. This is another Peter Tomasi book. I wish I had him sign the other one in yellow, but there was too much yellow in the background. So this is Super Sons Annual #1, and it's a one-off story featuring the dogs and crypto of Super Sons. Yep. This is not a 9.8 contender. You can see the dent in the spine there. It is color breaking, but this is a book that I've had for a while. And the idea, the option to have him sign it because I really enjoyed the story was, I just didn't want to pass it up. Now, books that got cut for budgetary reasons. Noctera #1. This book. Notice it is not signed. It's already signed in the corner. Tony Daniel has already signed it. I did not get to go to Scott Snyder other than one book. So this book gets cut and it goes back into the collection just with one signature. Another one, Sozo Micah. I ended up cutting any signatures from her due to budget, and I wanted to support John Boy Myers, so I bought this instead of 2 or 3 signatures for somebody else. So my Zatanna foil is not signed. That's where it would have been signed, so it came back unsigned. So, but it is what it is. Sometimes we make decisions, we have to make decisions. We go ahead and cut certain, we have to, everybody has a budget. And here's one thing that I did not anticipate spending money on. I know some people will probably look at it and say, dude, you just paid for somebody else to print some stuff out on a home printer. That's what it is, but to me, it's the signature that mattered. So Peter J. Tomasi, the one who wrote Super Sons, he's written for pretty much everything, right? So he brought with him to the convention. I thought it was a great idea, and I'm going to do something to bind them together to make it look cool. He brought some scripts from the actual comic books. I just thought this was such a cool thing because I can read the script now and see what it is. But Batman Detective Comics number 1023, The Joker War, his script in its entirety, but he assigned it to Carlos Stay Out of Gotham, Peter J. Tomasi.
Out of Gotham, good buddy.
Yep. And then, but I didn't just buy that one. I also bought Batman Detective Comics number 1024 because he had both issues, the script for it. Joker War. This is written by him. To Carlos, where did you park the Batmobile? And he did a little remark sketch thing there. So thought it was a cool thing to do, to pick these up, and I like him as a writer. I didn't.
He knew you moved the Batmobile.
He did. Somehow he did that.
Wow.
All right, so these were just cool pickups. I'm gonna find a way to bind these and put them, in the personal collection somewhere.
You didn't tell everybody that we saw the time machine.
Oh yeah, we saw the DeLorean.
Yep.
All right, well, folks, I think that's about it. No, it was not Helpers. I damaged the book because I was in a hurry because people were trying to leave. It was just not a well thought out plan for transferring the books. And that's what happens when you're in a hurry and there's no plan. So, but we'll do it again better next year. And I definitely know things I will not do and things that I will do for next time. So, all right. Well, thanks so much for watching tonight. We've run a bit long. We're hitting 11 o'clock. I know it's late. I know a lot of you are probably ready to go to sleep. So y'all have a great night. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. If you have any questions about, if you're watching, maybe you're watching this on the rewind, you didn't catch it live and you watch it later, make sure to drop questions in the comments below about the convention. I'd love to be able to answer the questions for you, give you further information. Because here's the thing, I want these convention, but part of the reason for these convention coverages, part of the reason we do it is not for us to just go stand in line and get signatures, not for us to just get books that we want signed, not to just get channel member books. It's to give you the best and most up-to-date information for when you decide that it's time for you to go to a convention. Now, I want to make sure that you have the best data possible to be able to budget and schedule your time. And yeah, that's what we want for you. Remember, like I said, if you're not a channel member yet, please consider joining. It's a great time, especially going into the summer. It's a great time to join and be a channel member and have access to some of this cool stuff. Yeah, I also need to show this off. This is real cool. This is a cool Venom pickup from Sam De La Rosa. It's a metal card signed by Sam De La Rosa. It's a black and white Venom Lethal Protector #1 cover.
That's cool.
So, all right. So, thanks for watching. Y'all take care. And from me and Paul and Lone Star Heroes and the rest of the crew, JT, Future Batman, we just want to say thanks for tuning in for yet another episode of the Giveaway Show. We're going to be running all the way through the end of July, I think. And then we'll be going on hiatus. We'll be taking our mid-season break, our season break between seasons, and then we'll be coming back in the fall for possibly a little bit different version of this show, of our Wednesday night live stream, but it'll be just as much fun. So, y'all take care, have a great night, and we will catch you next time. Later.